Coming at you from the frozen tundra that is East Central Alberta, Canada, streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, Float, Odyssey, Telegram, Twitch, TikTok, and the Prepper Broadcast Network. Welcome back to the workshop where we create community, find freedom, promote preparedness, and share success. I am Toolman Tim. Today is December 3rd, 2022. This is episode 214 of the Workshop Podcast. So how are you, folks? This is a pre-recorded episode. I am away. We were supposed to go last weekend for Christmas shopping, and the weather and animals and lack of staff, a whole bunch of things meant we had to put it off, which actually worked out for the best because we ended up having a big storm. So here we are. I'm getting ready to head out. I'm going to enjoy a weekend away, shopping and eating and sleeping in a hotel, and we'll have a good time. All right, real quick. You guys know it, the Telegram group. If you haven't joined yet, come by and join the Telegram group, because I know I tell you all the time, but I absolutely appreciate the Telegram group and the community that we have built over there. I was thinking back about a year ago, and I just had no interest in Telegram whatsoever. And then Amy Dingman kind of bragged it up and said how great of a community she had there. And then the Fireside Freedom folks said we need to start a Telegram group. And all of a sudden, I really saw the benefit of Telegram, how it's kind of an ongoing conversation, how you can drop in, drop out, and really build a community. So we did. I think we got like 155 followers or community members over there. So it's not too big that you get lost in the shuffle, but it's just a great way to learn, share, and interact, and just get to be friends, guys. So if you haven't, download the app, grab the link in the description below, and come by and join us. And from there, how about the Patch of the Month Club, guys? Santa is coming. Would make a great Christmas gift for a lot of people. But honestly, I just really appreciate the support. I love the fact that so many people have signed up for it. If you are interested and want to, go by patchofthemonth.co. $100 a year, $10 a month. Would make a great Christmas gift. And of course, you get a patch that's worth $10 a month. Plus, it supports the content that I put out. So guys, I appreciate it. And finally, today's tool is the Govee Freezer alarm system. I got thinking, with Thanksgiving just behind us, Christmas coming up, we're going to have a lot of stuff in our deep freeze, and it's great to keep an eye on it. The Govee Freezer alarm, I came across it 2-3 years ago now. It's Wi-Fi and Bluetooth enabled, which means you can check the temperatures of your freezer when you're all the way around the continent. It's great. I love it. They're reliable. They last forever with the batteries in them, and they just work. So check out the link in the description below. And with that, guys, let's dive into today's show. I got a good one for you. It's going to be another installment of my tips for content creators. This is stuff that has, how do you want to put it? Things I have learned from my own damn mistakes. So I hope you enjoy this. I believe there's 21 of them. So we're going to call it 21 more tips for content creation, or 21 more tips for content creators. So let's start out with the first one. And it is, the more you give, the more you receive. I have talked about this so much, but don't ever underestimate the power of a shout out. Shout someone out, mention anything, mention their merch, mention their YouTube channel, mention something you saw or heard on their podcast, whatever it is, because man, people just love it. It goes so far. And not to be disingenuous, but if you appreciate something somebody's done, say it publicly, on the air, in a video, whatever it is, because I have said it so many times, and you're going to roll your eyes when I hear it, but a rising tide floats all boats. And when we work together, when we collaborate, wow, great things happen. You grow, I grow, we all grow together. Sounds like some sort of nursery rhyme off of Sesame Street. I don't know, but it's true. So take your time, shout out fellow content creators, large and small. Nothing bad ever comes from saying a kind or good and honest word about fellow content creators. Just do it, guys. Leave comments, comment on their stuff, because that's what everybody wants. We want feedback on what we're doing so that we know what we can do better. But more than that, what I love about feedback is it gives me ideas for more content to create. So just do it. Shout out, collab in any way, shape, or form. Boost up your fellow content creators, and you'll receive for doing it. I promise. Now, this is one for content, social media, really. So, my phone gets filled with pictures all the time, and a lot of times it's the same damn stuff. But you know what's cool? I put this down. I call it Look for the Everyday Beauty. I don't know how many times I've had people say, wow, that's a cool picture, Tim, or that's a nice, it's usually frozen stuff in the middle of winter, but almost every time somebody says that, it's a picture I took in my backyard at like 5:30 in the morning. So just take a minute, look around, look for things that just are out of the ordinary. Snap a picture of them, snap 30. It's not like you got to develop them with film. Just take as many pictures as you can. You never know what you're going to find out, but there's so much beautiful stuff to share with the world just in your own backyard. So get out, take pictures, and then share it. Put a comment under it, turn it into a meme, whatever you want to do. But just get out there and whatever it is you're doing, snap pictures of it. You'll be surprised at how nice it looks, how beautiful some of the stuff is, and the comments and the interaction you'll get just from taking pictures of stuff you're doing while you're doing it. It only takes a couple of seconds, but look for the everyday beauty, guys. Absolutely. Next, make it easy to find you. There's two parts here. So let's go with tip number 3 and 4. Make it easy to find you and have consistent branding across all platforms. So make it easy to find you. First off, whatever your channel name is, make it something that people know you by, whether it's the workshop, Toolman, whatever it is. Don't make it, I don't know, like 847-6532, that kind of stuff. Things that don't come up in the search engine, number one. So make it easy to find you. Make your email short and easy to remember. Use shortcuts. I try to use the workshop for absolutely everything, but make your URLs as short as you can. Make your branding consistent across all platforms. Either do it yourself or have someone do it. We'll talk about that in just a minute. But if somebody finds you on MeWe, on Float, on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube, on Facebook, on all of them, they need to find the same logo or the same profile picture and the same name. Because I will tell you, so many times I've had conversations with somebody on a platform and they're like, oh, by the way, I'm Billy Bob on MeWe and I'm, John Doe on Float. And it just goes, and how are you expected to find somebody? So make it consistent across all platforms, because if people want to support you and they want to find you, they're only going to go so far. And if they all of a sudden can't see you, can't find you, like, I don't know where you are. Well, there you go. It's as simple as this, like the live stream kind of icons I have here. It reminds me, they're still on TV, but back in the day when channel surfing was a big thing and you'd flip through, it became a big deal for every channel to have an icon on it, so that when you flip to it, you knew, oh, that's ESPN, or you flip to that, oh, that's Discovery Channel, and you could recognize it because that branding was there, and it's powerful. So make sure people can find you and make sure your branding is consistent across all platforms, which means it takes some work. So if you update a logo or you update the name of a channel, you need to go through and do it across everything. That was a big thing for me. When I first launched my YouTube channel, it was under All Seasons Maintenance, and it grew to a size where I really didn't want to change the name, but everything else was under the workshop and I had to do it. So I changed the URL thinking, oh, this is going to cause a lot of problems. It was a lot of work. I put a lot of research into it, but when I was done, nothing screwed up. So, and you know what? Don't be scared to do that kind of stuff, because eventually, even if you do screw it up, you're going to figure out a solution because it's important to you. All right, next, outsource as much as you can that you can afford. Use Fiverr. I friggin' love Fiverr, and I talk about it all the time. That's Fiverr. I'm not sponsored by them or anything. You go there, you look for somebody who can create what you're looking for, and then you hire them to do it. They give you a price. A lot of times they'll give you 2 or 3 options that they'll bring back and say, hey, which one do you like the best? My logo right there was designed on Fiverr, and so was that right there. I designed the little banner thing. As you can tell, it looks like a 4-year-old designed it, and it still took me longer than anybody on Fiverr. But if you need something, you want to make it streamlined, you want to make it look slick and professional, and you want to, swing above your weight class, then get yourself some consistent branding, get it done on Fiverr, and it's way less money than you think. And eventually, if you start making some money from your content, one thing that I've done on occasion is I've had people on Fiverr turn my long form videos into TikTok videos, which has been hugely helpful because it's just one more thing that I don't have to do. So if you can outsource anything you can in, whether it's in your local community, your online community, or through, an outsourced company like Fiverr, they're great. Next, guys, treat your channel like you have 1 million subscribers. If you have 3 subscribers on your channel, treat it like there's 1 million out there, because someday there will be. So that means being professional. That means getting better at everything you do. That means putting the most and best effort into everything that you put out for people. It means being consistent as you know what. It means just doing it. So treat your channel like you got 1 million subs, even if even if it's only your mom, your dad, and your great aunt that are watching your content right now, because someday it will be there. And the sooner you learn that, the sooner you get, the sooner you are professional about it and treat it like there's 1 million, the sooner they'll come. So just do that, guys. Here's another one. Look at your Facebook memories. Look at memories in general. Go back and see, because it'll remind you, oh, I was doing this. Well, it's time to check to cover this again, or I was doing that. Well, let's go back and redo that. Reshare your memes. Facebook memories is a huge treasure trove. I don't actually post a ton on my personal Facebook anymore, but my favorite thing is to go on there and look at my old memories. And when I do that, I'm like, oh, that is a killer meme, or that's 6 killer memes, and I'm going to reshare them because it's been a year or 3 years since I used them. Celebrate milestones, guys. So if you've hit 100 subscribers, do a 100 subscriber special video. If you hit 1,000, do a 1,000 subscriber special video. Take screenshots of all of those along, turn that into a short, or turn it into a collage and share it on Instagram. But get out there and tell people, hey, look what I've done. I'm so proud of myself, and people will rejoice with you. But celebrate your milestones, guys. I don't care what it is, where it is, whatever it is. Don't be scared to recover topics. This was something I really struggled with for like the first year to maybe 2 years, because I would be like, well, I want to talk about this, but guess what? I already did this 18 months ago. Well, guess what, Tim? In 18 months, your channel has gone from 75 subscribers to 3,000 subscribers. So that means that 2,925 of those subscribers weren't there and weren't listening. Now, did some of them go back and watch your video? Perhaps, but there's probably only maybe 200 views on that video. So you do the math, right? So recover important topics, or topics that are important to you. It's okay, because listen, I've listened to a lot of content creators for a long time. And if I like the person delivering the message, I will listen to them recover a topic over and over again, because I will learn something every single time. Because I don't know anybody whose brain is switched on all the time and who learns everything there needs to learn from the single viewing of a video. So go back and recover stuff, because the cool thing is, if you go back a year later to cover a topic, guess what? You're not the same person anymore. It's like trying to step in the same river twice. You can't do it. So go back, look at the topic through your lens of who you are now, look at the topic through the lens of where your community's come, and then recover it, because if it's important to you, it'll be important to your community as well. Have a time when you reevaluate what you are doing. That doesn't mean give up, but that means, hey, once a month, once every 6 months, whatever it is. For me, it's every winter. I go back and I look and I'm like, okay, what's working? All right, what isn't working? Okay, we need to do more of what's working. And another thing that I do is polish things up in the wintertime. So I go and maybe I'll make a new channel trailer, or, this year I plan on getting my logo polished up a little bit just to make it a little sharper and brighter. Just a few little things, Look at things that you can improve, but always have a set time to say, all right, Tim, it's time to look at what you're doing. What are you screwing up, or what have you become complacent with? And we need to fix that. Something to think about, guys. Don't be scared to go back to the basics either. This kind of goes in with the recovering topics, but every so often you need to. Last April, when I went to down to Nicole's for Living Free in Tennessee spring workshop, I did another episode on the basics of prepping, a whole series of the basics on prepping. And guess what? About once a year, I'm probably going to do something like that, because it's that damn important. It's something every so often, if you're just lost, go back to what you started with and cover it again, because you're an expert. You've learned more. It's okay to do that, but focus on the basics no matter how far you've come, because like I said, there's always somebody new coming to your channel, coming to your content, whatever it happens to be, guys. But just do yourself a favor And yeah, go back and cover the basics. It's important. But here's something else. Don't be scared to take a deep dive into something new. Now, this is something I do on occasion, but if there's a topic I really, really want to learn about, then guess what? I make a video about it, because there's no better way to learn something than to teach something. A couple of examples of that in the past are when I did the part episode on the technology of USB-C. It was confusing to me. I was having tech problems with it, and I'm like, well, damn it, I need to learn how to do this. So I did. And then I'm like, well, I need to share this. And even if some people might say, oh my God, Tim, USB-C is so boring. Well, I didn't think so. And most other people didn't think so either. Most people really enjoyed it because it was a technical, confusing mess that I did my best to simplify it. So that's just one of those things to think about. There's always these topics. Another one, for instance, was a floating versus bonded neutral on a generator. It was something I had a basic understanding of, but really didn't know how or what it meant. So I went down the rabbit hole for quite a while, researched the hell out of it, and then turned it into a fairly easy to understand concept in a video. So for me, that's what I love to do. Take a deep dive into something new that I've never done before so that I can teach you guys as well. It's exciting. Learning something new always excites me. Use your comments, guys, to create more content. If you're not sure, if you're sitting down and you're like, God damn it, Tim, I don't know what to make this week. Well, guess what? Go through your videos. Well, there's a few things, but here's one. Go through your videos and see what comments either you've responded to or you haven't that spur on an idea for another video. Or here's something else. Look at your most successful videos. For me, they're generator videos. And then take the topic. You're like, okay, what was the most? Maybe I don't have any questions I haven't responded to, but take that topic, type it into YouTube, find some of the other most popular videos out there on the exact same topic, and then read through their comments. And you will find a ton of users who are like, hey, I have this question. Can you answer it? And if it's a really big video or really old video, there's a good chance nobody ever answered it. So go and turn that into a video. Or take 5 comments from 5 different videos or 5 questions. Turn that into content, guys. Love it. It's one of the best ways to kill writer's block that I've ever found. Just go rifling through comments and find something. Now, I shared some of this before, but I wanted to put it into here as well. But how to never run out of ideas, guys. The first is consume media. I go through phases where all I do is listen to podcasts. Lately, it's been all I've done is listen to audiobooks. And, watch TikTok videos or YouTube videos. But if you're going to consume something, it might as well be something that edifies your soul, edifies your brain, and builds you up and helps build a knowledge base on something. So consume media, and then in turn, you're going to want to create media. Simple as that. Keep a file of ideas so you don't forget. Write shit down. The other day, I had a killer opening line for a podcast. I said, guess what? I'll write it down in 2 minutes. 2 minutes later, it was gone. 42-year-old Alzheimer's. I don't know it is what it is, right, guys? Do more of what worked. Like I said, revisit old videos that were really successful, cover them again, do a year later tool review, do whatever it happens to be, just cover that topic again because it worked for you. And now you have a new view on it, or put a new twist to whatever that idea is, but go back and do more of what worked because that works. Just start recording and see what happens. Turn on the video, turn on the audio, and just start talking. I've said this before, but Michael Scott on The Office, he always used to say, I don't know what I'm going to say until I open my mouth, and then I just let it come out. And that's kind of what it is. And a lot of times what I'll find is I'll sit down and start recording, and I won't necessarily use my first go at it, but it inspires something in me that says, holy shit, Tim, guess what? That's pretty good. So let's turn it into this. And then I'll scratch a few notes down and then I'll record an episode. Doesn't happen too often, but it does. Review old notes and videos, guys. We talked about the videos, but go back through. I have an entire folder of content creation scripts. So if I'm thinking I'd like to cover a certain topic, well, I will type in a keyword, search through there, and I will bring up every video where I've talked about something regarding that. Then I'll bring it all up, read it through, and then I'll create something out of it. So go back, look through your old scripts, look through your old notes, and see, hey, what have I talked about? What can I learn? Because you'll learn something from old you as well. Talk about what you're doing or what you're learning. Whatever your passion or hobby is right now, talk about it. even if it's not quite on par with your channel and your mission statement, just talk about it, because people find you interesting. There's a reason they're here. And if they're into some of the things, there's a good chance that some of your audience is also going to be into that. Now, you may not get to 1 million subscribers by being all over the place, but what you will get is a really motivated and committed community, and you won't suffer burnout because you'll be able to cover a whole bunch of different topics. Walk around and look at things, guys. On occasion, when I'm like, all right, what's the review video going to be for this week? I will walk out into my garage and I will look around to see what tools I've been using the most recently, because then I have some experience. I'm like, okay, well, let's test this out. What do we do? Right. And it works. Just go back, look around, walk around, look in your office, look wherever you work, look at what you're doing. When you go out to the chicken coop, look and say, okay, well, what's a problem here? Like, did I have a squirrel dig a hole through the roof of my chicken coop? Well, guess what? I'm going to do a video on how to patch a hole in a roof on a chicken coop. Or my snowblower, for instance, the drive cable and the auger cable got a little bit stretched, so I needed to adjust them. Well, do a video on that, Tim, whatever happens to be. But walk around and look at things and say, this is what I can do. This is where I can create. And one more thing I want to share with you. I'm not going to call it a tip. It's not in the 21 that I shared. Look at that. 21 tips in 21 minutes. Pretty damn good, Tim. But I want to remind you guys that it's always a grind, no matter how big or small you are or you become. No matter what. You're only, okay, how do I put this without sounding disheartening? But you're only as good as the content you put out last week. And whenever you're putting out content, you are a slave to the algorithm and you are a slave to the schedule. So, make some stuff ahead of time so that you're not playing catch up all the time. But remember, it's always a grind, even if it becomes a full-time gig for you, which is great. You've always got that window. You've always got 7 days till the next piece of content, or 3 days till the next podcast episode, or whatever it is. And that's okay. Just embrace it, but commit to always doing it. And here's the thing, and this is what I'm doing right now. You cannot, I don't care who you are. I mean, if you commit to live streaming 3 times a week for 3 years, something is going to come up at some point where you just cannot be in front of the computer at 7 p.m. Mountain Time this Saturday. It just happens. But that's no excuse for there not to be content there for your community. So make sure you have some stuff in the bag. Make sure you have a few pre-recorded episodes. Make sure you have people that you can call on short notice when your guest cancels at 90 minutes before the show. And it might be your wife coming on and talking about, hey, let's talk about Christmas preps, because she loves to talk about Christmas. And I love the fact that she loves to come on the show with me. But whatever it is, it's always a grind, but just commit, guys. Commit to getting that content out there and you will succeed. Everybody's definition of success is a little bit different, but you're always going to find improvement. And if you're improving, you're succeeding. So get out there and kick ass, guys. I love sharing this stuff. I don't like to call myself an expert. I'm just somebody who's failed a lot and learned from his mistakes. So I hope some of this stuff helps you guys. Take a minute, share this content with your community or your social media platforms, whatever it happens to be, and just get it out there. I've got a whole playlist called Content Creation Tips. There's 7 or 8 different videos that kind of fit in that niche. So go back and check out that playlist. I will try to remember to throw the playlist link into the description as well, so you guys can check that out. There's more on YouTube than there is in the podcast feed, because some of these were done as videos only. So if you're looking to look the old stuff up, the YouTube playlist will be the easiest way to do it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this pre-recorded content. Hopefully right now I'm at the all-you-can-eat buffet, the Royal Carvery in Sherwood Park in Edmonton, because that's always our favorite place to go when we meet up with our daughter. So I'm sure I'll be eating too much. Probably won't be sleeping too much, but I can certainly promise you that I will be hauling a lot of presents that Mrs. Claus decides to buy. So that's it for me tonight, guys. As always, stay happy, stay healthy, and have a great week.